game. Sometime man, well, there's not no back in the reaction. Still don't believe this trade is real. But then I just seen Drew Holiday get traded. How much, man, East, y'all can go ahead and do that over there. I ain't gonna lie to you. Memphis, we gonna stay over here in our West. You feel me? We out West with it. We'll take care of them teams, you feel me? But this gonna be Dame and Giannis still gonna be crazy. I truly believe it. Like, people was hating and saying it's not gonna work. They're gonna set y'all up. You make your JxmyHighroller 10K.
Antetokounmpo has played with in the NBA. That's every player in every season for the past 10 years. And they're all plotted based on how good they were in terms of box plus minus and win shares. Now, over the years, Giannis has played with a lot of guys. OJ Mayo, Jabari Parker, he played with Jason Terry for 2 seasons, kind of a weird overlap. But his best teammates have all came in the last few seasons. Brook Lopez, Eric Bledsoe, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday. There's some good seasons in here by some good players. And Giannis has made the most of it. And then, there's his new teammate, Damian Lillard, who will easily be the best player he's ever played. The NBA's got a new super team. And right now, they're the favorites to win it all.
My first pick gonna be Damian Lillard.
Bro, this hey, bro, nigga.
Today's video is sponsored by
no bitch, and I'm scared. Yo, they should have not let this shit happen. Like, they got Middleton, and then you still got Lopez. It's like, god damn. Skip your ad though. Skip that. Not ad. Sponsor.
As a Blazers fan, I've seen some dark days. Days I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. I saw my team rally their way to the conference finals for the first time in 2 decades, just to get swept and never return. Damn. I've had to watch the player that we passed up on turn into an all-time great, while the guy we picked couldn't even stay on the court. I watched Brandon Roy blossom into a star, and then retire literally 50 games later due to injuries. This is enough to make a man go insane. And then, the chosen one. Our loyal king, the one glimmer of hope in a bleak and desolate franchise, just packs up and leaves to the Bucks, and we get stuck with DeAndre Ayton.
Brandon Roy would have been a beast if he wasn't injured on the time. 3-team trade. Damn, bro, he really packed this shit and said, I'm going to the I think that bitch is North.
We aren't even gonna keep a rookie and a 7th grader. And I'm not even sure where the Bucks came from. The Blazers and the Heat were stuck in one of the weirdest, most drawn-out stalemates for the last he's given to the Blazers. The organization never quite put him in a position to win. The man has been in the league for 11 seasons and has played with only 1 All-Star. And even that was nearly a decade ago. In fact, throughout his career, Dame has made 7 All-NBA teams, a feat only 46 players throughout the history of the NBA have accomplished. And out of these players, only 13 of them never won a championship in the NBA. And these 13 players, whether active or retired, are all regarded in the same dismissive fashion. All-time greats who never won a ring. Only 4 of them are active today. Chris Paul, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Damian Lillard. And all 4 of them have reached the same point in their careers. Don't be the guy who had a stellar career with all the awards and achievements, but no championship to show for it. And so after 3 months of uncertainty, I think this is about the best case scenario not only for Lillard, but for Giannis and the Bucks. In fact, this trade was actually foreshadowed last season during the 2023 All-Star Draft selection over every other All-Star reserve. Giannis picked Damian Lillard with his first pick. Back in 2022, Dame was asked who he would play with if he could choose any active player. His answer was Giannis. Fast forward 18 months, and
fucked up, man. This about to be.
They both got their wish. So now that he's on the Bucks, and they both got a teammate that far exceeds anyone else they've ever played with, how good is this duo, actually? We've seen countless pairs of superstars get hyped up with grand expectations just to fall short and achieve essentially nothing together. But if history has shown us anything, this duo is bound to do something great. In terms of box plus minus, there have only been 6 duos in the history of the NBA that were as good individually as Giannis and Dame are. And out of those 6 duos, 4 of them went on to win the NBA championship that season. The only duos that didn't were Harden and CP3 in 2018, who lost to the eventual champs in the conference finals, and Durant and Westbrook, who were 1 game away from making the finals. History has shown us that when two players of this caliber pair up, it usually results in a championship, or at worst, a game or two away from the finals.
Damn.
We're looking at potentially one of the best duos of the last few decades. Last season, Dame averaged 32 points, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds a game. Now, those aren't just historically great numbers. That's a stat line that only Michael Jordan, James Harden, and Luka Doncic have ever achieved in the history of the NBA. Even crazier, Dame did all of this on record-high efficiency. And last season, Giannis put up 31 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. A stat line that
like Bucks can win. Like if they stay healthy, they might mess around with 70 of them bitches, bro. They might mess around with 70, bro. Like seriously, you might mess around with 70. Max though, they ain't going that crazy, but you might go 70 and 12, bro. Like
hasn't been achieved since Wilt Chamberlain did it nearly 60 years ago. We all know just how dominant Giannis is, but I think spending the last decade in the shadow of arguably the greatest point guard ever has made Dame one of the most
somebody that can pull from the logo. Then if you double him at the logo, you got a dude that's 7 feet tall and probably at the perimeter weight. Like you can't. Then you got Middleton, who low key is low key a walking bucket, and then you got Lopez, bro. Look, East, y'all can have that shit. We gonna stay in the West with it.
Underrated stars in the league. Both of them are coming off of historically great seasons. We haven't seen a pair like this since KD joined Steph and the Warriors back in 2017. In fact, the last time in modern NBA history, 2 volume scorers of this caliber
I was
paired
literally
up,
saying that was the one team that he cannot go to was the Bucks, dog. Miami would have been fair. I was saying the one team that he couldn't go to was the Bucks, and it happened. This team can win about 65 plus games, bro. I'll be real.
Never. Over the last 50 years, there hasn't been a single duo that averaged at least 30 points per game and then played together in the following season. Not Kevin Durant and James Harden, not Curry and Durant, not LeBron and Wade, not even Kobe and Shaq. But it's not just how dominant Giannis and Dame are, it's the fact that their games perfectly complement one another. Individually, defenses are forced to scheme.
I just said it. I just said it. You double team the shit at the time of you can't stop this, bro. You're not gonna stop this, bro.
Against Dame and Giannis in polar opposite ways. But together, there's not a team in the league who has the defensive personnel to cover the deep ball and the pick and roll and the low post.
I just said that. You're not, bro. Like, damn, man. This need to veto this, bro. I would be going, bro, this is not gonna be fair.
Think every single attempt at creating a
this don't even compare. This is like gonna be this duo gonna be like Shaq and Kobe. It's no way this duo flop. Like, come on, fam.
Superstar tandem in recent years involves 2 players that usually have similar strengths and weaknesses. As good as Kyrie and Durant were, their games didn't complement one another. Kawhi and PG are great individually, but as a whole, their skill sets are far too similar to create a real dynamic offense.
Damn.
Most of the time, just taking turns on who's going to get the next possession. Even LeBron and AD are 2 oversized forwards who tend to play away from the basket and dominate possessions 1 turn at a time. For the exact opposite reason, this is why I think the duo of Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic works so well. 2 completely different but compatible playstyles. Aside from Murray, who isn't quite a superstar, and Jokic, the last time we saw a duo that was made up of 2 megastars with complementary skills and positions was 2 decades ago with Shaq and Kobe. Damian Lillard's demand to be traded wasn't some breach of loyalty. It was an attempt to regain control of his career and earn a real chance at winning, like many others before him have done. How many all-time greats put their loyalty first and foremost and paid the price because of it? Guys like Reggie Miller, Dominique Wilkins, Patrick Ewing, generational talents whose careers get lost in the shuffle because they've never climbed to the top of the mountain. They never overcame the final obstacle and won an NBA championship. It's It's almost like all the all-star selections and big performances and playoff wins become an afterthought or some sort of relegated achievement because the ultimate goal was never achieved. Is it better to stay with one organization with hopes that things will eventually work out, despite things never quite working out? Or after years of holding up your end of the deal, is it better to finally do what's best for you and put yourself in a position to win? Well, the answer lies with the players who did put themselves first. In the mid-2000s, Kevin Garnett's incredible talents were being flushed down the drain in Minnesota, and so he said enough is enough and went to Boston. A move that changed the course of his...
At a certain point, bro, you're going to get tired of losing. I'm sorry, if you get all that loyalty, you're going to get tired of losing.
Career and legacy. If Kevin Durant never left OKC, we may not know him as a two-time champion and finals MVP, but rather another generational talent who could never quite get it done. Even LeBron James all made the decision to leave the franchise that drafted them for an organization that actually gave them a chance at winning a title. Because loyalty and fans and accolades aside, above all, every player wants to lift that trophy above their head and be crowned a champion. Something that was never gonna happen with Dame in Portland. So what do y'all think? Is this duo truly the favorites to win this year's title? Or are we getting ahead of ourselves like we've done countless times before in the past? Are Dame and Giannis a real match made for winning? Or is this team going to be just another failed attempt at combining talents in hopes that it yields something great? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always,
bro, Dame too much of a hard worker for that shit to fail, bro. Damn, man, this shit gonna be fucking tough, man. I cannot wait to see that. You feel me, man? Hey, y'all let me know how y'all feel about anything JxmyHighroller 10K, bro. That shit finna be lethal, bro. Not gonna lie to you, man.